the top stories, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws is urging residents to take precautions as Saharan dust move over the Federation. Regionally, PAHO is urging countries in the region to strengthen their measles surveillance as cases surge ahead of the FIFA World Cup. And on the international scene, at least 21 people are dead after a fire tore through a hotel building in New Delhi. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of June, and I am Jasmine Thomas. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws is urging the public to protect themselves against the effects of the Saharan dust. As a plume of dust from the North African desert moves across the Federation, Dr. Laws is encouraging residents to take precautions, particularly those with respiratory conditions.
We all have a responsibility to protect ourselves, stay indoors as much as possible, but if you're going outside, protect yourself, particularly those who have respiratory tract conditions like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. If you must go out, wear a face mask or limit the time in which you are out. We all have a responsibility to protect ourselves, stay indoors as much as possible, but if you're going outside, protect yourself, particularly those who have respiratory tract conditions like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. If you must go out, wear a face mask or limit the time in which you are out.
A North American medical mission is emphasizing the importance of preventative health care during its visit to St. Kitts and Nevis. The International Medical Mission of the North America Taiwanese Physician Association, led by its chairman Dr. Charles Su, has been providing free medical care to residents and supporting local health services. The delegation includes 17 medical professionals, including doctors, dentists, a pharmacist, and an acupuncturist.
We know that St. Kitts actually a very beautiful country, and also, but your country, as I know, they have a good system, but you don't have enough doctors. So we are happy. So we know about that's the fact. So we are happy to bring the doctors, the dentists that come over here, and to basically, to enhance or to help the care.
Dr. Su said the team's visit also provides an opportunity to discuss healthcare priorities with the country's leaders.
So we know we're going to emphasize preventive care. We emphasize about control diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and we also are going to hope we can have different subspecialists and come to do for the necessary for the care for this country.
He said future visits could include a greater focus on preventative care and the management of conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and obesity, along with additional specialist support. And St. Kitts is receiving international recognition after securing 4 nominations in the 2026 World Travel Awards, a development officials say would reflect the island's growing profile as a tourism destination. Officials say the recognition follows years of strategic positioning by the St. Kitts Tourism Authority and broader efforts to strengthen the island's international brand. The news has also generated positive reaction online, with many describing the nominations as a sign of St. Kitts' growing visibility on the global tourism stage. Tourism stakeholders say the recognition builds on recent momentum in the sector and supports continued marketing and promotional efforts. And on the regional scene, the Pan American Health Organization is warning of a sharp rise in measles cases across the Americas as the region prepares to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. PAHO says more than 20,000 measles cases and 25 deaths have been confirmed across 16 countries and 1 territory so far this year. That represents a 4-fold increase compared with the same period last year and has already surpassed the total number of cases recorded during all of 2025. Mexico has reported the highest number of cases with more than 10,900 infections and 13 deaths. Guatemala has recorded more than 6,000 cases and 12 deaths. The United States has confirmed nearly 2,000 cases, while Canada has reported more than 1,000. PAHO says the majority of infections have occurred among unvaccinated people at Unity Beach in Guyana. Police say 20-year-old Loidisha Waldron and 33-year-old Special Constable Andre Francis were found on Tuesday. The couple was among a group of people visiting Unity Beach on Sunday when Waldron reportedly drifted further out to sea and called for help. Francis entered the water in an attempt to rescue her, but both were overcome by strong currents and disappeared beneath the surface. A search involving officers from the Mahica police station and the Guyana Defense Force Coast Guard continued into Monday but failed to locate the couple. The discovery of their bodies on Tuesday brought the search to a tragic end. And now for news on the international scene. At least 21 people have died after a fire swept through a building housing a hotel and restaurant in India's capital, New Delhi. The blaze broke out today in a densely populated neighborhood popular with students and young professionals. Police say the building housed a restaurant on the ground floor and a hotel on the upper levels. More than 40 people were rescued and taken to hospital after 8 fire engines were deployed to bring the fire under control. Images from the scene showed thick smoke pouring from the building as firefighters battled the blaze. Some people were seen hanging from windows and calling for help as flames spread through the structure. Residents in the area also joined the rescue effort, helping to evacuate those trapped inside and assisting the injured to safety. Reports indicate that some of those who died were foreign nationals who had traveled to India for medical treatment. An Australian appeals court has reserved its decision in a case seeking to prosecute King Charles over allegations of genocide against Indigenous Australians. 3 judges of the Supreme Court of Appeal in Victoria heard arguments from Indigenous activist Uncle Robbie Thorpe, who is challenging earlier rulings that blocked his attempt to bring a private prosecution against the British monarch. Thorpe argues that the Crown and Australian institutions have failed to prevent or address the historic and ongoing disadvantages faced by Indigenous people, which he says amount to genocide. During the hearing, Thorpe told the court that successive governments had failed to protect Indigenous communities and hold those responsible to account. Lower courts have already rejected his application, ruling that genocide is not an offense under common law and that any federal prosecution would require the approval of Australia's Attorney General. The court has not indicated when it will deliver its decision. If the appeal fails, Thorpe says he intends to take the matter to Australia's High Court and, if necessary, pursue the case through international legal channels. We now take a look at today's weather. Partly cloudy skies and passing showers are expected across the Federation tonight and into tomorrow as moisture moves through the area. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a moderate or 60% chance of showers. Tomorrow is expected to be partly sunny with a 40% chance of passing showers. Temperatures will reach a high of 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit with an overnight low of 24 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east-southeast at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour or 9 to 18 miles per hour. Seas are expected to range between 1.2 and 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Sunrise tomorrow is at 5:36 and sunset this evening will be at about 6:42. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.